nice that you admitted that, but I really don't think you've actually thought this through at all. I mean, because if you're basing it solely on personhood and you don't even have a definition of what personhood is, then you really don't have a reason to even say
Well,
that a kid who is born and they just don't like him anymore, they can just,
the thing
get
is,
rid
I've
of him.
already admitted that those factors aren't even that essential to my argument.
So, Ghosty, I have a question around the 16-week thing.
Go for it.
So at 16 weeks, it's a separate organism. It's growing, it's metabolizing. It has arms, it has legs, it even has a face. It's not a part of the mother. It's a distinct organism. It's not like an organ or anything else. It has its own heartbeat. What exactly is this arbitrary number that you placed on this, and why is a later period not acceptable or an earlier one? What exactly is the moral standing that you have for this, or is this purely just a my preference argument?
Probably brain development. And I think both are kind of my preference arguments, honestly. I think this comes down to whether you give personhood to this developing human.
So
Um,
should parents with special needs kids have the ability to kill their kids?
in the womb, or
No, just in general, they're not as fully cognitive as other ones. So where do you put that marker
no,
of
because
cognitive ability?
they've they have fully developed as a human. They just have disabilities.
But
Yeah,
their
so
It's
brain's
they're
not fully
different.
developed.
yeah, their brain's not fully developed. So how does that
I
logically
mean, they are
follow?
developed to a point of like whatever their age is.
Where
And
how
yeah,
do
it
you assign
depends on the brain.
personhood?
It depends on the brain potential. Like
Not
honestly,
necessarily. I
so
know autistic people that are well into their 20s but still have the mental capacity of a 5-year-old.
yeah, I'm not.
Are they still entitled to life because they're mentally challenged?
Yes, of course. Again, I'm only talking about unborn
So
humans.
my question is, when does a human being go from being a non-human to a human? Do you have any measure for that?
Uh, do you mean by human? Are you like equating that to personhood or just like a species?
No, I'm talking about this. You can't separate them. You cannot separate the species from the personhood in regards to humans. In fact, it's codified in our founding documents that all men are created equal and are endowed with certain inalienable rights by their creator. Among them is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Would it be
Does it
reasonable to assume that abortion at that stance is completely un-American and goes against the founding of our country?
no? Does a dead person have personhood?
They're dead.
Yeah, so they
And
don't
their
have
debts
personhood,
are
right?
still inherited
But
by their family.
they're still a human being, correct?
They're currently dead. How does that
Yeah,
follow?
but they're still a human being,
For
right?
that to work in
You
your
said
paradigm, the baby would have to already be dead.
you said you can't
So, what do you think
you said
about
you
grave
can't untie
desecration?
personhood and being a human being, and I'm saying yes, you can.
So, what if I have a gang of guys who say, you know what would be really cool? We're going to go to the morgue and we're going to sexually desecrate some corpses. Is that a crime? Is that morally wrong?
In my opinion, it's not a crime to that corpse, but it is a crime to the family of that corpse, the people who are still living.
So
That's where it
personhood is still
matters.
attributed to the corpse, right?
No, it's a memory that the family, it's a respect thing. It has nothing to do with whether
So
it's
what if
harming the
what
corpse.
if the cadaver had no family? What if both parents died? They're the only child of a long line of only children. Nobody there to remember them, know their name, or care for them. Is this still morally wrong?
It's kind of no harm, no foul at that point. Like, does the 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 moral part would come with the intent of the person. Does the person doing that have the intent to desecrate a grave because they know that somebody
Well, it's
like
not only grave desecration; it's the desecration of the physical corpse itself through means of coitus.
don't
Is
they
that
kind of do that?
morally wrong?
Don't they kind of do that with autopsies anyways? Is that morally wrong?
Completely different scenario. An autopsy includes tools. Coitus includes body parts.
What? How do you assign personhood? What is your criteria for that?
Um I don't know. I haven't quite like philosophically thought about this super deep. Your your individual consciousness, your life, your who you are, your
Well,
individual
no,
like.
people in comas and hospitals don't have consciousness technically, so that wouldn't follow.
Do they have
Did you know
subconsciousness?
most of your individualism, your personality traits, the way you think, the way you feel, the way you act, the way you look, the way you grow, is all codified in your DNA,
DNA. Yep.
which appears first at conception.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, I mean, it's nice that you admitted that, but I really don't think you've actually thought this through at all. I mean, because if you're basing it solely on personhood and you don't even have a definition of what personhood is, then you really don't have a reason to even say
Well-
that a kid who is born and they just don't like him anymore, they can just,
The thing is,
Get rid
I've
of 'em.
already admitted that those factors aren't even that essential to my argument. I really.
you just used it in an example. You said earlier that they're not a person. You said that was one of the reasons you don't count them as a person. So you're using that in your argument.
They're not a developed. Like, they're not a developed enough human.
What is
So there are-
enough?
Like after 16 to 20 weeks.
And why that number versus another number? What is it there for you that makes
the
that difference?
general amount of weeks where after the 5 essential parts of the brain are formed. And
Can you name those
and
5 essential parts for
children-
us, please?
Not off the top of my head. No. They're pretty long words. I know that.
Again, there are people born with developmental issues that may not have all 5 parts of those brains. So if somebody has, say, 3 out of 5 parts of those brains, are they
No, that's
are
not.
they,
That's not.
Well, there's
if
been
you're
people
talking about
who've
like
had
brainstem and
accidents.
stuff,
There's been people who've had accidents and have lost parts of their brains and they can't function in certain ways. So under your logic, we should be able to just kill those people.
I just want to
No,
remind you
because
boys to let Ghosty finish too, because it's more views, so you got to give her a little more time to answer most all of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I've already said I'm talking about unborn children here. If we want to talk about people who are completely brain dead in comas, I'm open to that discussion as well. And I've already
No,
said
I listed someone who's just had an accident. There have been people who've had accidents and they don't have functioning certain parts of the brains that are functioning for
Okay,
some
these parts of the
functions,
brain
but
I'm
they can still
talking about-
function in society to some degree.
these parts of the brain I'm talking about, you literally cannot function without. Like, I'm pretty sure maybe there's been one case, I forget his name, where a kid was born and he didn't have this one part of his brain, or it wasn't fully developed, and he had like zero cognitive ability to interact with his parents, respond to his parents. He was just staring, completely brain dead looking, like not aware or conscious. So these parts of the brain that I'm talking about are like, you can't live without them in general. So it would be nothing that applies to brain damaged people.
But you don't know what they are.
Right, that's why I said there's more to it than just
There's a heartbeat
blood.
at 16 weeks.
Yes, that's why I said there's more to it than just blood pumping and a heartbeat. There's a lot more to the.
Yeah.
I'm not a brain
There's a nervous
scientist.
system that's
but there's-
happening already. So where does the nervous system go to?
Why does the heart stop beating when the brain is destroyed?
Because the heart tells it to beat.
The brain.
The brain.
I mean,
brain
the
Are
brain,
you
yeah.
muted or talking? Okay.
So how can a unborn child have a heartbeat? Would that require a brain?
Yes, but do you think it needs all of the like a, let's just say a actual born baby? Do you think they have the same brain as a 15-week-old baby?
Nope, and they don't have the same brain as an adult either, but that doesn't
Right.
make them any less valuable. Their intrinsic human value is not based on their brain nor brain development. It's
It actually
based
makes
on
them
their
a lot
personhood
less
and
valuable
their
if they're.
humanity.
It makes them a
Ghosty,
lot less valuable, in my opinion, if their brain literally
So now you're
barely do
putting
anything for them.
value on a human.
Okay,
Ghosty,
sorry, I
would you
forget
say
now.
you're a utilitarian? What do you base your morals on? Because it sounds like you're a utilitarian.
I might be. I kind of am. I kind of go back and forth between that and
makes sense.
consequentialism.
So that's really what we're running into here, with everybody
Yeah.
else on the panel and yourself. We have certain moral frameworks we abide by, and you clearly are utilitarian, which allows for this kind of demonic, evil worldview that allows over 1 million murders a year in the U.S. Every time I talk to you progressive
I
types,
thought we were avoiding personal attacks.
and every time I talk to you progressive types, and we talk about this issue, we went down to the heartbeat. Okay, then the personhood, and it's always this extra little thing that they're used to justify, basically just avoiding responsibility and just justifying wholesale murder on children. So that's I don't really see. I've never heard an argument that actually makes any fucking sense, that actually follows through logically to any other scenario that I give them. So I don't understand, even yourself, you said you don't even have a definition of personhood. So you're just sitting here as a talking head for left-wing progressive talking points, and nothing we say will convince you otherwise because you are brainwashed with this.
No, I
That's
disagree.
the reality. No,
Yeah,
that's
every-
the reality.
I'm not
Every-
gonna.
Everyone
Sorry,
could
go.
be saved.
I didn't say anything about save. I never made a claim about
I'm not
her
even like
soul.
a super progressive type. I actually have.
Yeah, well, we
No,
can
you
start
are.
independent
You
beliefs,
are.
We,
but I'm
the
actually
problem is a
not,
lot of
but-
people try to go that deep, and I don't even think it's that deep. That's why I was trying to. Ghosty, let me ask you a question. Do you believe in humans came from the process of evolution?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, yeah. I'm just trying to get I'm just trying to find out where you're actually the things that you believe and the ideas that you
She's a utilitarian, man.
have or get
whatever-
actually come from. Yeah,
It's-
but she's not,
my
because if you were like,
morality-
it's really good utility to have slaves, she automatically goes, no, slaves bad. So
Well,
it's like,
I never
actually
said it was a
don't-
coherent worldview. Utilitarianism is dog shit, but
that's
she
why-
subscribes
Okay,
to
well,
it.
yeah. So
That's
it's like
why
so
I'm not
there's something else.
conceding to being like a full utilitarian, whatever. But I understand some of those, some of that logic. But
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense logically.
I'm
No, it doesn't.
yeah, I forget what I was gonna say now.
I apologize.
I just
And,
don't,
I'm
yeah.
trying to help. Yeah, I'm trying to help, trying to clarify, because I think a lot of people, are trying
Stop
to go all the way to
stop trying to
different
be Captain Save-A-Ho.
I still don't even know what